Hello everybody, it's Mississippi Diana again, and it sure is cold outside. I had to give my husband a ride to work. He works part-time some nights at a convenience store, and so it's cold. And here in Mississippi, it's not very often that we're this cold. I talked to a friend of mine, Mary, from Illinois today, and she said they were having an ice storm, and even her electricity was off, and she had to go to a motel to stay. So I know that they're having it a lot harder up north, but we're getting some of that wind from up there, so it's kind of cold. Today was my 8th week post-op from my gastric bypass surgery. I've lost over 60 pounds total so far since my surgery. And I'm feeling a lot better. You know, every time I say I'm feeling a lot better, but I am. I have some good days and I have some bad days, but basically I'm feeling a lot better physically, you know, with the weight coming off. And also today is Wednesday. It's my ghost day. This is the day that I watched TAP's Ghost Hunters show, and then Ghost Hunters International. That lately, that's about as close as I've been able to get to ghost hunting, even though my husband and I both love to indulge in paranormal investigation. What group wants a 500-plus pound woman in the middle of the cemetery at 3 o'clock in the morning? Somebody gets scared, everybody starts running. The 500-pound woman falls down, taking half the people with her and blocking the path for the rest of them. So there's not many investigation teams that really want a woman of that size involved. So what investigations that we've been involved in have been, you know, just my husband and I. We do go to cemeteries, but not at 3 o'clock in the morning. We go some at dusk, late afternoons. You can get just as good of EVPs and things that time of day as any time. My husband and I own a house here in Mississippi that's over 100 years old, and I do know that we do have spirit activity in the house. It's never been negative. A lot of times you can hear the front door open and nobody's there. My husband and I both have heard it on many occasions. It took us a good while before we ever confronted each other with the information, thinking that the other one would think we were crazy. And another occasion, someone or something walked across my husband's feet while he was laying in the bed. We were watching television, and he was wide awake, and he thought it was the cat. When he realized the cat was across the room, he jumped out of bed because he said he distinctly felt something come across his legs. But these things don't scare me because I don't feel that they're evil or anything. They're just entities that are caught within our plane and the home that we share with them. I calmly asked them to leave the room and not to come in at night when we were trying to rest or sleep. And we had no other problems like that. I do feel if you have respect for everybody, living or dead, then you'll get along a lot better with everybody in the world. I really didn't start out to make a paranormal videotape tonight, but it seemed like it's come to that. I do feel comfortable talking about paranormal activities. Maybe it's because I feel more at ease with those people who have gone on than I do with living people. In a lot of cases, living people are so judgmental about physical things. My size for one, my mental illness for another, and you know, I can feel like an outsider because of that. But So I do feel more comfortable in the realm of paranormal. Uh, but I've never had experience with a negative entity or energy, except for one time whenever I was a teenager. I've always been drawn to older houses, especially abandoned old houses. And back in the 70s, whenever I was a kid, Mississippi had lots of old antebellum homes and old farmhouses out through the country that were empty. And I went out through these houses. You know, I loved photography even back then, and I had my first 35mm camera, and I would go all through the countryside taking pictures of these old houses. And I found this one huge antebellum home that had a row of columns across the front. It was marvelous. I went in and I loved it, and I took as many pictures as I could without a flash, and I went upstairs, and it was just wonderful. I could imagine, you know, Scarlett O'Hara living in that house, and I had such good vibes. And then I found a door and opened it up, and it was a small staircase to a third floor. And I went up to the third floor, and there were dormer windows up there that you could see into the room, and it was empty. But after I stood up there, I got a chill that ran over me, and immediately I was terrified, and I nearly broke my neck getting down those steps and out to my car and away from there. And I knew that whatever it was angry, and so I had to leave. And that's the one and only time I've ever experienced a bad form of energy. It could possibly have just been somebody who needed some help and was angry because they were stuck there. I really don't know. I was about 17 and terrified, and I left. Possibly if I knew then what I know now, I would have went back and tried to assist in the best way that I could to talk. That's all you can do, is talk to them and try to make them understand. And it's funny, like the blind leading the blind. I mean, we're investigating, and what we try to do to help the paranormal or help the undead is only speculation. We don't know whether it really helps or not. We hope that it does, because if it does, then it confirms what we believe in life continuance and life ongoing. So that's my only experience with negative energies. I hope after I lose this weight that I can do a lot more. We're really trying to just find out what the truth is, not to get famous for it. It's not something I try to put out there as a main issue of what or who Mississippi Diana is. It's just a part of me that I really want to learn about. I want to find out the reasons of life, and is life truly ongoing? I feel that it is, but to actually prove this to myself and to others, and you have to have evidence, so you have to have an investigation. I agree with a lot of the investigation that groups like TAPS does, because they're trying to make sure that there's not a lot of natural phenomenon that's being confused with paranormal phenomenon. They have to, you know, try to debunk as much as they can. But I also believe in spiritualists and people who can feel the entities, and in a lot of cases they're a lot of help. And that's about all I have to say for tonight. I'm here by myself. I'm going to watch some television and probably some YouTubes, and everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.